Armchair commanders, we call the shots. From our living room thrones where the action's hot. We're the generals of fiction, the masters of war. In silver screen battles with buttered popcorn. Armchair commanders, armchair commanders.
I don't know why you would choose this movie, though.
Why not?
You know, I was prepared to sit down. I was prepared to sit down and watch a movie because, based on the title of the film, I was expecting a great time watching some atomic bombings. And instead, I get G level, not like, you know how there's like A tier and B tier. This is some like L tier Chinese bullshit about a very serious topic that just
L tier.
Yeah, L tier.
Wow.
And on that note, welcome to the Armchair Commanders podcast.
My name is Jack, and this is John. Fuck, that felt weird saying.
You tried taking my job?
I did, and from now on, you can keep it.
Okay.
That felt weird.
This week, we're reviewing... What the fuck was this called? Men Behind the
Sun. A fun family adventure for the kids.
Oh, yeah. Filled with fucking... This doesn't even reach the level of... Like, when we first started, I was like, oh, this is going to be like a shitty 80s horror film kind of vibe. Like a gore kind of shock exploitation type deal. Which this does fall into that category. It's just so shitty that I'm like, holy fuck, I couldn't even fathom something being this shitty.
Oh, you never like my movie decisions.
No, here's the difference, okay? So Kung Fury, I talked a lot of shit on Kung Fury.
You leave Kung Fury alone.
I'm getting to this, okay? Kung Fury is purposely stupid. Okay? Like, everything in Kung Fury was a willful choice in absurdism. This is just garbage.
Oh?
Yes.
Oh, what? Are you going to lambast it like the Japanese critics and call it anti-Japanese propaganda?
No. Look, for our viewers at home who have never heard this film, I don't blame you for not hearing this film. When did it come out? The 70s or the 80s?
80s.
Okay. So it's a 1980s gore shock film that masquerades as this like... So, okay. I'm going to go ahead and get this like elephant out of the room because I think it's the big topic that we need to address. This movie is about Unit 731, which in recent years has had more notoriety, awareness, at least in like the internet realm. But generally speaking, like in books, like there are books about it, but it's kind of limited. But in the grand scheme of like teaching about World War II, like the easiest way to describe Unit 731 for those who are unaware is that it's essentially the Japanese version of like Dr. Mengele at Auschwitz. Human experiments, torture, all this fucked up shit.
It's called the Auschwitz of the East for a reason.
Yes. A very serious topic, one that needs to be discussed, one that should be in film, much like the Holocaust needs to be in film, because it's very important. Like, film is such an amazing and important media format. It is one of the most powerful ways that we can convey stories such as the Holocaust and other atrocities that occur in war. You know, one of the greatest films of all time is Schindler's List, which is about, it's about the Holocaust. And the way that that film is done, it doesn't shy away from the atrocities that are committed by the Germans against the Jewish people and the other people who were victims of the Holocaust. But it still manages to do it. I don't know what the right word for this is. I wanted to say respectful, but like, how do you respectfully show atrocities like that? But it does it with a level of seriousness that you can appreciate the horrors that are before you. This film is so ridiculous. Like, at no point are they trying to be funny in this film, but you cannot take this film fucking seriously. And that's a fucking problem when you're talking about something as serious as Unit 731, who committed terrible atrocities against people with human experimentation, chem warfare, all that kind of stuff. Like, and the thing is, I don't know of another film that discusses Unit 731. So, just in the sphere of John and my personal knowledge, the fact that this is our only Unit 731 film and it comes off as, you know, like a Rob Zombie slasher film, it's fucking asinine to me.
How would you have portrayed it?
Schindler's List, but in Japan.
Well, you see, like, a lot of people have commented on what was depicted in the film, and they said that it was overdone and over the top, but those are real experiments that they did on real people.
Absolutely. And here's the thing. I understand that, one, Chinese filmmaking, they play by a different set of rules than we do, like here in America. I can acknowledge that. And especially in the 80s. Like, I imagine the fucking rules that they played by in 80s China was not like, I doubt they deal with the same kind of shit like we deal with the MPAA. So this being a little more on the edge, a little more what we would consider to be fringe, I'm not above that. What I will say though is, so we have a super accurate like dissection scene of a person, and it's like, okay, this looks very realistic, all that kind of stuff. But then we also have another scene where we have this woman who we see for hours and hours and hours is stuck outside in the snow in the winter, and they keep pouring water all over her arms. And then, like, basically when her arms become popsicles, they bring her inside and they dunk her arms into this like warm bath, and then they tug at her skin, and like all of the flesh and muscles just sloughs off of her fucking arm, and what remains are legitimately just fucking like Halloween skeleton arms, where you like, her real arms are like tucked into a like her sweatshirt that she's wearing, and like she's like T-Rex holding skeleton arms out the sleeve holes, like ah! And it's that shit that ruins this movie.
So, about the autopsy scene, what if I told you that that was a real corpse that they cut open? So,
I
when
I am
when they were
I am both doubtful, but also I fucking 1980s China.
so when they were filming this movie, the director got word that a teenager had died in the village, and I don't know how he did it, probably some bribes, but he got them to film the actual autopsy of the boy's corpse for the movie. And that's what we see in the movie is his body getting cut open. That's certain. I'm about to say the big E word, so everyone with a drink, take it. Ethics. That means you, John.
What are ethics, Jack?
I don't know, something liberal hippies bitch about. But anyway, that brings up the interesting question of ethics. And this is relevant, keep in mind, because it also encompasses the research that was gleaned from the Holocaust and Unit 731 in and of itself. Because, like, yes, we did get some research out of this, but the ethics of how we got that is so fucking far out of what is accepted in modern science that how much of it is viable. And it's dangerous to even ask how valuable the data is, because that brings into question the ethics of it all.
Well, it's like, if I'm not mistaken, a lot of what we know about
Hypothermia.
hypothermia came from German experiments on concentration camp victims.
And this is a hot button issue because even today it's debated about the ethics of what we did with the research afterwards.
Well, I mean, there's that. Like, it fall not in the not to the same severity, but it falls in the same vein of like us taking Nazi scientists and
It's the same exact vein.
I mean, there's a difference between the medical research and fucking rocketry, but
Very little. I mean, they used slave labor to build, aka Jews, to build a lot of the rockets and thus advance their research.
at the end of the day, Western powers were more than willing to turn a blind eye to former enemies if they had something that could advance our shit.
Which is still highly criticized today. I want to know, what is your take on this? You personally.
Fuck Werner von Braun. We could have gone to the moon without that dipshit.
You see, I'm of a different viewpoint. I say that if we shirk all of the research that we got from that, then they truly died for nothing. I think it's just irresponsible to do away with the research they gleaned, as unethical as it is.
I think there's also something to be said about, it's a classic argument from when we were in school, which is there is a million different data sets on any given topic. Like, take like anti-vax. Like, all that stems from is like one really shitty study with a very limited population.
And he outright lied for it.
Right. I mean, yes, there is legitimate observations and things to be taken from the experiments that were performed, but also there's something to be said, like, there's obviously going to be problems and slants with the data sets when they're taken in the way they're taken. Not to mention, like, what did we gain from skeleton arm lady?
Well, that does reference the hypothermia experiments, that both the Nazis and the Japanese Empire did, which did give us better designs for coats.
Oh,
and did
goody.
further our understanding
North Face got to
of
update their
medical
line the next year.
and give us better medical and scientific understanding of the condition in and of itself. But this is not to justify all the atrocities that were done at Unit 731. No, but to act like that gave us completely nothing. And also,
You heard it here first. Jack is pro Unit 731, pro torture, pro chem warfare.
yes, sign me up as a test experiment, actually, just so long as they do the what happens when we shoot somebody point blank in the head with a high caliber rifle. That
You're
way
not
it's
an
getting...
experiment. You are a Maruto.
Yeah, for that experiment, at least it'd be done over easier. But as we've seen in the end of the movie, spoiler alert for those who haven't watched it, but I encourage you to, is at the end, the main guy is given clemency when he surrenders to the Americans, and they seize his research and himself. And it's heavily implied that the US government used his research in the field in the Korean War, but that's an entire Wikipedia article, is the allegations of biological warfare in the Korean
Typical
War.
Chinese communist propaganda.
Yeah, it's still a heated debate today because there were numerous plagues that sprung up around that time, but at the same time, you have to consider that these are Korean peasants in one of the coldest winters on record during a famine in the middle of a fucking war. I don't know, but that sounds like good breeding ground for disease.
Yes,
And
I would
in the
imagine that
in
they would
the
be a little more susceptible to
in
uh, disease and whatnot.
in trying times such as those, the human mind seeks answers. Now, it's not always the answer with the most nuance, quite the opposite, in fact. They think of an answer that makes the most sense to them personally, and they attach it to whatever demon at the time, be it intervening American forces, be it, say, a million Chinese soldiers marching in from the north, anywhere.
That or microchips and vaccines and shit.
Yes, absolutely. That's what I was alluring to, is the whole
Yes.
5G thing and the
Me.
conspiracies.
You know, I honestly was more pissed off that I didn't care that there was microchips in it. I was like, bring it on, give me the 5G. And you know what? I still have shitty service. By the way, bringing up not our fucking sponsor today. Fuck you, Comcast, and fuck you, Xfinity.
Fuck you, Comcast. Fuck you, Xfinity.
I got the vaccine and I still had no fucking internet over the weekend. Fuck you.
Yeah, you bitch. We're trying to record a podcast, dick.
Just watch like Apple Podcasts just shutters our like recommendations to people because we started talking about this without it understanding the nuance that we're making fun of it.
Oh shit, we're gonna get demonetized, aren't we?
Oh my god, we're going to get demonetized from all the money we don't make.
Oh no. Anyway, um, and yeah, the rat scene with all the burning rats. They actually set rats on fire for that.
Ah, that's fine.
However,
Whatever.
however, they got the rats by paying local children to collect them on farms around the area. And the Chinese farmers were glad to be rid of them because rats are
It's
pests.
it's like the worst. Like, do you ever collect cans as a kid to get nickels and
No,
shit? Oh,
I collected workplace injuries,
well, that's fair.
but I
Well, you
was getting
see,
to that.
well, you see, Jack, other kids in kind of more, not rural settings would go around and pilfer cans out of fucking recycling bins and then turn them in for money.
But as I was gonna say, I was gonna allude to that actually. One of my early memories is my dad excitedly telling me and my brother that he needs us for a special job, and we go to a granary on our property, not one that's used heavily, god no, but just like this old one. And he puts his hand on the granary door and is like, all right, now what we're going to do is we're going to open this, and a bunch of rats are going to pour out of this. Now I want you two to stomp as many as you can. He's like, ready? Then go. And so he opens the thing and we stomp mice. One of the ones I stomp, I catch like on the edge of my boot. So I see its guts shoot out that end. And he jokes about it like, ew, look at the guts on that one. Isn't that cool? And that
What the
explains a lot
fuck
as
am I
my
hearing
adult.
about your childhood?
I thought this was normal.
No, it's not fucking normal.
I thought every kid stomped on pests for their dad. But
So,
at any
anyways,
rate, at the end of the
anyways,
day, they were pests, and I knew this, and he knew this. So that's why I didn't feel too bad when I saw them being burned alive on screen, because I know what they were.
I did that was another thing I wanted to bring up, and the absurdity of this fucking film is like there's a scene where our commandant like is giving a lecture and he throws a cat into this giant thing of rats, and it's supposed to give the impression that like the rats overtake the cat and like kill it, but like it zooms in on it at one point and you can just very obviously tell that the cat is just laying there like smothered in jam.
Yeah, so what they did was they had like actual fake blood, like actual fake oxymoron, fake
Actual
blood.
fake blood.
Yeah, shut up. But fake blood mixed with honey so it would stick better, and smeared it all over the cat. And if you look closely, you can see both the rats and the cat licking it up. But that's what he told biographers before he died. There are several people in the crew that says he actually threw a cat in to die, but I'll leave that up to you whether it's fake or not.
I don't
I don't
think
think
you
it's
could
real
really.
personally.
I don't know what can and cannot be taken at face value in this fucking film, if we're being honest.
Yeah, this it was the fact that they used an actual cadaver makes this borderline a snuff film. It's certainly listed in Wikipedia. Oh Jesus! It's listed on Wikipedia as an exploitative film, which I don't disagree with.
But I mean, what even is the whole thing of an exploitative film is to get a reaction out of you.
Which that ties into my point earlier, ethics.
Yeah.
And it certainly does push the boundaries of acceptability by using an actual cadaver for an autopsy scene and using actual rats to burn alive in the purging scene. But this scene calls to mind the scene in Schindler's List where he like walks out of his office one day and sees shit falling from the sky, and because the movie's in black and white, we the audience assume it's snow, but then he walks over to his car and like wipes off a bunch of it, and we realize, oh fuck, that's ash, and there's that only means one thing. And then we smash cut to the concentration camp that he was stationed at being liquidated, and they're digging up bodies and burning them so there's no evidence. And there's that one drunk guy screaming at the bodies and the commandants and the workers, and Schindler pulls up and says, what the hell's going on, basically. And Eamon Goeth like shrugs and says, party's over. They're liquidating us and moving us to Auschwitz, I believe. And that I think that scene was very well done because it's also the second scene in which we see the girl in the red coat.
Spoilers.
Also, I think I've told you this before, but I don't think I can watch Schindler's List again. Or
You will watch it, and you will like it.
What?
You know, I already have to deal with the fact that Miranda has, one, not seen Schindler's List, and two, refuses to watch it. We will review that film for this podcast.
How about this? I agree to watch it as long as you live stream you and Miranda watching it.
Oh my fucking... So
Let's
never?
make this a reaction video.
So for our listeners at home, before you're probably pondering to yourself, why would John's wife refuse to watch this movie? That seems odd. It's because she knows it pisses me off. There's no moral stance to it. There's no like problematic conspiracy theory nonsense that she participates in. Like, she believes in the Holocaust, all of that. She just refuses to watch Schindler's List with me because she knows it pisses me off because I think it's one of the greatest films of all time, and it just blows my mind she never watched it. And that's how she gets her jollies, is by pissing me off.
Yeah, when you've been married as long as you have, I suppose. But if you get her to watch it and live stream it, then I will watch it again. Bonus points if she joins us for that particular episode to talk
Hey,
about
Miranda,
it.
I know last time we did Legally Blonde together.
Yeah, talk about a fucking whiplash, which I'm all about, hence why I picked this movie.
Oh, I saw this amazing cut on TikTok where someone cut the courtroom scene from Legally Blonde where she's like, isn't it true that the triglyceramide like will undo if you get it wet and stuff? And then it pans over to the courtroom scene of Jack Nicholson, and it works so fucking well.
But also on the subject, because I have a list of trivia about this movie, courtesy of IMDb, because I feel like I get sued if I say this without crediting them. The young woman who is subjected to the lengthy and torturous experiment involving frostbite is actually director Mao's niece. She was the only person he could find willing to play the disturbing and physically demanding role, which involved holding a pair of real corpse arms, which were frozen for real in the sub-zero Manchurian temperatures. She nearly contracted frostbite herself during filming. Damn. Willing to give your own niece frostbite for a shot. Oh, that's dedication you just can't buy.
Well, I mean, this was a different time in China where, we can just go back to watching Mulan to kind of get the vibe of what they thought of girls. So,
But, and yeah, as I said before, a lot of Japanese critics lambasted this movie because
shocking.
they called it anti-Japanese propaganda. And a lot of American and Western critics lambasted this movie because, come on, it couldn't have been that bad, could it?
Yes, it could be that bad.
I would argue worse.
Me lambasting this film and bitching about it it goes to what I said earlier. Doing this topic requires a level of seriousness for it to hit home. You cannot take this seriously when I'm laughing at a dude hitting a child.
Damn. You heard it here first. He laughs at child abuse. John laughs at child abuse. He's a child beater.
Okay, so
I'm kidding.
Let's go to this scene, okay? So it is when we're introduced to the term Maruto, which translates to what, log or something?
It's like cordwood or firewood.
It is the term that they have given their prisoners, test subjects, victims, to dehumanize them because
Yes.
it's easier to commit an atrocity against somebody when they're not a person. But it starts off with, and we'll have to discuss this post this little moment here, but it is like Hitler Youth but Japanese torture camp. So you have this corps of cadets who are brought to where the Marutos are kept, and their little drill instructor dude is like, "What do you see before you?" And one of them's like, "That is a Chinese man," and he fucking slaps him. And he goes to the next kid. He's like, "What do you see before you?" And he's like, "A very bad Chinese man." And he slaps that kid, and then he slaps the kid next to him. Like, the first thing I thought about was like in Futurama with like, the bit with Mom Corporation with
mom slapping
and
her children.
Like one kid could say something stupid and she'll just slap the same kid over and over because he's like the runt of the litter. Like, it made me think of that Futurama scene where it's like, he said something stupid, I'm going to slap you. That is the point I was laughing at, which was like just this absurd, like, why are you slapping him? Like,
Yeah. But that's a real tactic people use to get people to dehumanize the other in their eyes. Like, don't see them as humans, see them as something not sentient, like, say, wood. Kind of a cruel joke because they cremated the bodies after this. Hence that drunken old man gleefully singing and dancing as he chucks their parts into an oven.
I think I would also go crazy if that was my job.
Yeah, and I believe he had an assistant too. They're the one that's like cuddled up in the corner drinking too.
But
But
what did you think of our little death camp of like death camp youth program?
I can't speak much for the historical accuracy because I have this book downloaded on my phone through work about Unit 731 that I haven't gotten around to reading yet. I did, however, today finish I'm Glad My Mom Is Dead by Jeanette McCurdy.
Oh, I read that year or two ago. Very good book.
You see, the version we had was narrated by Jeanette McCurdy herself, and she put a lot, like, she nailed just the right amount of sarcasm and emotion when she was reading the book.
I think that's the best possible way to have a book narrated.
Is by
Is
the
like,
author.
yeah. Granted, there are times where that doesn't really work out. Like, do you know the book like 1776 or John Adams by David McCullough?
No.
Okay. Well, there are these books about the American Revolution by a guy named David McCullough. He passed a few years ago. Very big author. Very like about as popular as like Stephen E. Ambrose. More academically credible though. I know that's a very high standard to beat, but he would narrate um all of his own audiobooks, and he was like this 80-year-old dude who like had a nose whistle, and I was like, okay, this is a time we need to get like a professional, narrator or something. But in the case of like Jeanette McCurdy, I think that's a terrific choice.
Yeah, it was a very good book. I thoroughly enjoyed it. The showering with her and wiping her ass part put me off a bit. It was a little weird, to say the very least. Where was I going with this? Oh, yeah, shit. A book on 731 that I haven't gotten around to reading yet. So I can't speak for the historical authenticity of having like a youth core there, but I'd understand why they would have a youth core there for the optimistic hope that the war is either still going on or they'd won by the time these kids reach college age.
Yep.
Obviously and thankfully that didn't come to fruition.
Right. You know what I've observed that I came to a realization that I will give credit to this film.
That I'm your best friend.
Yes. What actually I came to a realization of was anytime you're fighting in a conflict and someone like nonchalantly and kind of a passive aggressive threat type of voice says like, "Oh, what a great honor it will be for you to go to such and such front." You are losing the goddamn war. Like, we see it all the time in reference to like German army stuff where it's like, oh, and then he went to the Eastern Front, and like the joke being is like the Eastern Front's a fucking death sentence.
Yeah,
And
he's
then
fucking
we
dead.
saw in this fucking movie too. It's like, oh, Colonel so and so went to the Southern Front after he doubted me. So anybody else?
And unsurprisingly, in the next scene, he's like, "Oh yeah, that guy died."
Yeah. So anybody passive aggressively says you're going to go to a particular front, you're kind of
And what an
fucked.
honor it is. Heavy quotation marks honor.
There's no honor in chem warfare.
There's no honor in what?
There's no honor in chem warfare.
No honor. No honor. In fact, that's quite the opposite of honor and disgrace. Kind of reminds me. I don't remember if it was like this poison gas or like this pathogen, but during the Renaissance, some alchemist perfected the art of chemical warfare, and he pitched it to a warlord in Italy. And he was like, "Oh yeah, these will take care of all of those pesky rivals of yours, and I'm willing to offer it for this amount of money." And he was smart, and the king was like, "So, how many other people can make this pathogen?" And he's like, "I'm the only one in all of Europe that can do this," and blah blah blah. And the man said, "I will give you double the price and then yearly residuals if you do not use this and do not tell anybody that you can do this." Because he knew that that's a double-edged sword. There's no safe way to wield pathogens in war, no matter how careful you are.
There's no safe way to wield it, and there's no honor.
Can our
I
listeners
thought it
hear
was
this?
my honor that I wanted.
Oh,
Really?
they absolutely
I
can.
was just trying to please you. The only way to regain my honor is to find the Avatar. I thought I had lost my honor, and that somehow my father could return it to me. But I know now.
I learned
that
this
no
little
one can
trick
give you
when we
your
had
honor.
the Civil
You
Weird
earn the
podcast
honorary
on last
title,
time.
Dragon.
Playing
Honorary.
Redeem
fucking
your honor.
clips from Deadliest
Redeem
Warrior.
your honor. Unquestionable honor? I promised my uncle that I would restore the honor of the Fire Nation.
16 times. Wow, I thought it'd be more, honestly.
There's definitely more. That seemed like a lazy compilation.
Okay, but he counted honorable as mentions of honor then.
I think we need to make discussions of honor more prevalent in our education system.
You want to know what I think about honor?
Honor these nuts.
Nope. I like to raise a toast. That means UDP. I'd like to raise
my empty fucking wine. Oh, I still have some wine. Cool.
Here's to honor. Hit an honor, get an honor, and if she won't let you come in her, come in honor.
That was disgusting.
It's beautiful. Poetry, really. I'll drink to that.
What are you drinking?
I'm glad you asked. I am drinking a traditional Chinese beverage called Rolling Rock, extra pale. Let's see, what kind of beer is this?
Beer.
I feel like it's written somewhere, like a lager, or a pilsner, or what the hell is this called?
I would probably classify it as a beer.
All right, what are you drinking then?
Oh, I am drinking some Stella Rosa Peach, traditional Japanese drink.
Of course. Very, very culturally sensitive.
Yes.
Lager. It is a lager. I knew it. But anyway, yeah, this movie. It is a rough watch. But the reason I picked this movie is because a couple weeks ago I was on Reddit and I saw this iceberg chart of like controversial media, and this was near the bottom. So I thought, so I looked it up and like, it's a war movie. What the heck? We could do this for a podcast.
We could, and we should.
I like controversy. I like dark shit.
Look, this is a war movie very loose in the sense, like...
The hell it is.
Yes, it is set during World War II. Yes, it features the Japanese army. Yes, it features atrocities committed during the war. What this film actually is a 2-hour torture horror film.
But it's set during a war for the express intent of military research for the Japanese army. I'd say it's more a war film than a lot of the other things we've covered.
It's just so poorly done. I want a serious director, Michael Bay, for example, to
No,
do this
fuck you.
to do this film.
Fuck you.
He would make the field chem warfare test scenes very interesting.
That's about all he could do for this. He'd be even more culturally insensitive about this. Fuck you. Do you really think Michael Bay was the culture,
No, I
like the
don't. That was
pinnacle
supposed to
of?
be the fucking joke.
This is the guy that has peppered like every single Latino stereotype you can think of into the Transformers movies, and like made 2 Transformers like caricatures of black people. Like, he would be even worse about this.
Why are you trying to exclude black people in film, Jack?
Oh, fuck you. We've covered black-centric films before, haven't we? If not, we should.
Yeah. We did Tuskegee Airmen.
Wait, when? I don't think I was there for that.
No, you were not there for that. I wonder why.
Oh, fuck off. Fuck you. You bitch. But, if I recall correctly, I was sick that day, so don't fucking sick the cancel horde on me.
Yeah, the very large cancel horde that's going to come after us.
Yeah, the liberal PC crybabies. As a note to the audience, I like to dunk on liberals, but I myself am left-leaning.
As a registered libertarian,
I voted, out of the 3 times I've voted in my life, 2 of the 3 of those have been to the libertarian candidate. Didn't fucking win, but you knew that already, right?
really?
Yeah, shocker. But, shit, where was I talking?
I'm registered to the Bull Moose Party.
I'm registered to my own party. And, yeah, in actuality, I'm a registered independent. And for our listeners out there, what are you going to say? What? Say it.
Nothing.
Huh?
Nothing.
Oh, it looked like you were about to say some shit. But anyway, so to our listeners out there,
To our voters.
Anyway, like, I have a ritual when I vote. I call it get really drunk and then vote, because I have this theory that you can pilot an automobile while drunk, right? So
Sure.
the theory states that you should be able to vote while drunk, right? It's the only thing that makes sense given our yearly candidates in our political parties and the whole standing of the U.S. in general.
I would like to say that if anybody makes their political decisions based off information they get from this podcast, really needs to evaluate their life.
Yeah, like, if you're looking to us for political answers, I got a big heaping helping of bad news for you. Not even I know what I'm doing. But, yeah, the whole exploitative part of this movie certainly raises eyebrows about how they got some of the shots, and this would not be allowed to fly in Hollywood today, but...
You know what? We were able to see it. No paywall, YouTube. So how bad could it really be?
It's worth mentioning that the version we saw this on was on YouTube. Who posted it, I won't say, even if I remembered. But it's been on YouTube for a considerable amount of years, 12 to be exact, and it hasn't been taken down in all that time.
Yeah, so listen here. If a movie can be on YouTube for that length of time, as much of a beef as I have with it, I had to pay for How to Train Your Dragon the other day.
And how was it?
Good. It was the new one, the live action.
Oh.
Why do you sound disappointed? It was good. They brought Gerard Butler back.
I don't give
In
a fuck
fact,
who they
I want
brought
to
back.
argue that How to Train Your Dragon's a fucking war movie.
I just
Vikings against nature.
I have no interest whatsoever in Disney live action movies. I watched Aladdin and that was enough.
Boy, oh boy, are you going to be disappointed in our next week's choice.
Oh, for fuck's sake. I mean, I'll watch it, considering I had you sit through this, which is borderline a snuff film. But, you know, I take my lickings where I can.
I don't think this is a borderline snuff film because there was no actual sexual intercourse that occurred in this film.
I mean, what I'm going to want to do to myself after watching this could constitute a snuff film if I film it. But
What?
nothing. Anyway, it's a live action remake. It's a soulless cash grab.
Yeah, it is. That being said, still liked it. Anyways, I think it's about time we rated this thing.
Right. I have that pulled up because I was expecting that.
This is your film. You choose the rating system.
1 out of 5 dissected Chinese children.
No, I'm vetoing that.
Oh, come on. You said it was my choice.
Choose something less stupid.
Burning rats.
Okay, 1 to 5 burning rats.
All right. Okay, so I give this film 3 dissected Chinese children and a burning rat, so 3.5. It is unflinching. It is gritty. And by God, does it hit. I just have questions about some of the cinematography and ethics behind this.
I strongly disagree. There needs to be a good Unit 731 film. One that properly and seriously approaches the subject and uses proper ethics to accomplish it. I give this 1 burning rat, so a 0.5.
All right, so want to guess what the thermometer says?
I'm going to guess there's not a thermometer.
There isn't. Good guess, but what does the popcorn meter say?
I don't know, like 12?
Haha, Sherrod, you are, Jonathan. There is no popcorn meter either.
What the?
This has no reviews to it. What the fuck?
Does IMDb have one?
They do. Man Behind the Sun, 1988. Hai Tai Yang. Huh. Where the hell's the rating? Why can I? Oh, there it is. 6.1 out of 10.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Okay. Can't be trusting IMDb.
Well, I mean, I haven't trusted Rotten Tomatoes ever since they gave The Last Jedi 93%. So, do with that what you will.
Yeah, well. So, it is time we choose next week's film.
Yes.
Seeing as we're apparently putting exploitation films on the docket, I decided to go with Ilsa, She-Wolf of the SS.
Hell yeah.
I'm kidding. We are not doing that fucking movie.
Oh.
For those interested, it's a Canadian Nazi exploitation film as described by Wikipedia.
Is it on the list?
No, it is not on the goddamn list.
But it's a war movie. Hey, if Sergeant Stubby gets a place on the list, I say this does too.
You know what? Fuck it. We have put this off for far too long. And I, for one, am done. Sergeant Stubby is our next goddamn movie.
All right.
I brought up last week or our last episode that I was going to make you watch Three Musketeers, but it was not going to be a version you were familiar with. We're just going to have to save that. Save it for later.
All right, fuck it. Sergeant Stubby, our most long-awaited episode. The fans have been clamoring for this. Two of them.
I swear to God, if anything happens to Sergeant Stubby, I'm going to be so fucking mad.
It's fine. I'm excited for this movie.
You know what's hilarious is Miranda had never seen How to Train Your Dragon, which is why I was like, oh, we should watch it.
And you showed her the live action, you fucking dick.
Yes, I showed her the live action one.
Oh,
because I hadn't
fuck
seen
you.
it. Anyways, she was into it. She was having a good time. And then it gets close to the end of the movie where like Toothless gets captured. And she like throws a pillow across the room and she's like, this movie is bullshit. If they hurt a single scale on that dragon. And I'm like, babe, there's like another 30 minutes to this movie. It's going to be fine, I promise.
It's a good movie. The animated, at least. I don't want to watch the live action because I don't really see any reason to.
It's basically a shot for shot remake with like a couple of lines here and there changed.
Hey, cool. I didn't ask for that. I didn't ask for any of these live action remakes. They're just soulless and stupid. But, this is just me snapping my suspenders.
Back in my day, we used to watch our own original films that had references to films from the 80s in them.
And adult jokes.
Heh.
Like real men.
Be a man.
So anyway, I think that about wraps it up for this film.
Please don't ever make me do this again.
I will.
I fucking hate you.
All right, how about this? I will make no such promises, but I will try.
Okay. Next week, Sergeant Stubby.
All right. Sergeant Stubby's a good palate cleanser for this, I feel.
Palate cleanser?
This movie was unflinching, and honestly, I think it's more horrifying than most hoity-toity Hollywood movies today.
Oh my god, did they fucking stuff Sergeant Stubby?
What the fuck are you talking about?
Well, I was Googling it, and I didn't put in the word movie. And there's a... Oh my god!
Oh, yeah? Oh, shit, they did.
Oh! Oh, no!
He's seen better days.
It was one thing when they stuffed Cher and me, but oh my god!
Yeah, look at those eyes.
Oh man, I wish I hadn't done that. That would have been a fucking perfect reaction for the fucking next episode. What the... Okay.
To our lovely listeners, he had a very, very great reaction to seeing one of his heroes stuffed. Yeah, he's not okay.
Oh my god. Okay. Well, if you've enjoyed this episode, please leave a review. Stars matter. Find us on TikTok and YouTube and Instagram and OnlyFans and all that shit. Until next week, I've been John.
And I'm Jack.
And war crimes are not okay.
Ever.
Goodbye.
Well.
No.
Well.
No.
Well.
Take it back right fucking now.
I take it back.
Take what back?
War crimes.
Say it. With your letters and vowels.
War crimes are bad.
Thank you. Goodbye.
I'm